think about how much businesses, well, lean on just being connected these days.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just email anymore, is it? It's
I-
everything. Keeping teams in sync, managing huge amounts of data.
Across continents, yeah.
Exactly. And that fundamental need for, solid communication and IT infrastructure.
Yeah.
That's really the heart of what we're diving into today. The global telecom enterprise services market. We've got this detailed report looking at 2025 and where things are headed.
Right. And when we say telecom enterprise services, we're really talking about the essential toolkit for, well, any modern business.
Okay.
Think of it like you've got voice, video, the data lines, internet, obviously,
Yeah.
then wireless, mobility for people on the go,
Uh-huh.
managed services keeping IT running, and of course the big one, cloud services.
Mhm.
The scalability there.
Right.
These aren't just like nice to haves anymore.
Yeah.
They're the essential plumbing.
Essential plumbing. I like that. And the scale.
Yeah.
It's kind of staggering, isn't it? In 2025, this market's hitting, what, USD 894.76 billion?
That's the projection, yeah. Massive.
But here's the kicker. Look out to 2033, and that number's expected to jump to USD 1.56 trillion.
Wow.
That's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of 7.20%. That kind of sustained growth tells a big story, doesn't it?
It really does. A consistent 7.2% CAGR over, 8 years? That signals really strong, persistent demand.
Yeah.
It suggests businesses everywhere are seeing this telecom infrastructure not just as a cost, but, a strategic asset.
For growth, for innovation.
Exactly. Operating more efficiently, expanding, all of it.
So our goal today really is to dig into this report, pull out the key insights for you. We want to understand not just how big it is,
Right.
but where the growth is happening, what's actually driving.
What the forces are.
Yeah, and the trends, maybe potential hurdles too, that are shaping things. Okay, so let's unpack the big picture first.
Let's do it. So just to anchor those numbers again, yes, 2025 projection, USD 894.76 billion.
Right.
Global. And looking ahead, the expectation is it hits that USD 1.56 trillion mark by 2033. That's driven by that 7.2% or CAGR we mentioned.
Right.
And it's worth pointing out, these numbers are based on 2024 as the base year, and they've looked back at data from 2021 to 2024 to see the patterns.
That historical context definitely helps ground those projections.
Okay, so global landscape. Where is this market strongest right now? And where is the the most dynamic growth?
Okay, so currently North America has the biggest slice, over 40% of the market in 2025.
40%.
Yeah, translates to about USD 259.48 billion. Now it's still growing, obviously, but its projected CAGR is 5.6% through 2033. So a bit more measured compared to some other places.
Okay, that makes sense. Advanced infrastructure, early 5G maybe?
That's likely the key. Mature market, advanced tech adoption early on.
Got it. What about Europe? How does it compare?
Europe's also a major player, holds over 30% in 2025. And the market size is actually very similar to North America, around USD 259.48 billion as well.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. And its anticipated CAGR is just slightly higher, 5.7%. So, the established economic hubs are still holding strong.
So the traditional leaders are, well, leading, but I'm guessing the really fast-paced expansion, that story's happening somewhere else.
You nailed it. That's where Asia Pacific, APAC comes in. Right now, it's got about 23% of the global share in 2025.
Okay.
Market size around USD 331.06 billion.
Wow.
But here's the really striking part. Its projected CAGR is 9.1% between 2025 and 2033.
Wow, 9.1%. That's fine.
It really is. Makes APAC the clear front runner for growth rate.
So what's firing that engine in APAC? What's happening there that's driving that kind of speed?
It's really a mix of things. You've got incredibly rapid digital transformation happening across loads of industries there.
Right.
Plus the 5G rollout and adoption is just happening at an impressive pace, sometimes without the baggage of older legacy systems that, other markets have.
Less to replace.
Kind of, yeah. And then there's just this huge growing demand for cloud solutions. Businesses want to scale, they want to modernize fast.
Makes sense.
And on top of that, many governments in APAC are really pushing smart city initiatives, which, absolutely rely on sophisticated telecom infrastructure underneath it all. So industry change plus government push equals boom.
Smart cities definitely need that advanced connectivity. Okay, what about the other regions? South America, Middle East, Africa, where do they fit in?
So South America holds Just over 5% in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
That's about USD 34 billion with a projected CGR of 7.5%.
Okay, 7.5%. Interesting.
The Middle East is around 2% share, so smaller, about USD 35.79 billion, but a slightly higher CGR again at 7.7%.
Higher than Europe.
Yeah. And Africa currently holds about 1%, market size USD 19.68 billion, and a CAGR of 6.9%. So smaller shares overall, but still showing significant growth potential. Definitely areas to watch.
It is interesting that the growth rates in the Middle East and South America are actually predicted higher than, say, Europe's. What might be behind that?
Well, it probably reflects where they are in their digital journey, right?
Yeah.
Maybe implementing newer tech more rapidly, not having to replace quite so much old stuff.
Leapfrogging, perhaps?
Sort of, yeah. Plus, specific government initiatives, increasing business investment, could be multiple factors. And the report digs deeper, too, calls out specific countries. Like, India's projected CAGR is 11%. Brazil at 8.1%. Even a mature market like the UK is looking at 6.5%. So it's quite nuanced when you zoom in.
Absolutely. Those country numbers really add color.
Okay, so we have the geography mapped out. Let's get into what's actually pushing this market forward, the main drivers.
Well, the biggest one, hands down, is the huge expansion of digital transformation projects. Pretty much every industry you can think of.
Right.
Businesses are going digital not just to streamline how they work internally, but to, improve customer interactions, find new revenue streams. And to make all that happen, they need secure, scalable communication networks. It's just fundamental, the bedrock for all that digital activity. Yeah, that makes total sense. No digital transformation without the pipes to carry it. And 5G, we hear so much about it. How is that specifically impacting businesses in this market?
Oh, 5G adoption is a huge driver. Its capabilities, much faster speeds, way lower latency, better reliability than, 4G.
Yeah.
That's crucial for enabling more advanced enterprise uses. Think enhanced mobile broadband for remote teams, connecting tons of IoT devices, or ultra-reliable stuff for critical applications.
So it's way beyond just faster Netflix on our phones. It's really opening doors for how businesses operate.
Precisely. Entirely new ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Like in manufacturing, 5G can support real-time control of robots.
Okay.
In healthcare, maybe more reliable remote diagnostics, even telesurgery.
Wow.
And beyond just the network tech, the growing demand for cloud solutions is another massive catalyst. Businesses love the agility, the scalability, the cost savings.
Right.
The report even mentions Orange Business Services' flexible contact center as like a concrete example of a cloud solution for enterprise comms needs.
Cloud and 5G. They really do seem like a powerful pair driving things. Now, are there any roadblocks? Things that might slow this growth down, headwinds?
Yeah, the report points to one key restraint: the cost. The sheer capital expenditure needed for building out and upgrading infrastructure.
Ah, the investment side.
Exactly. Especially for widespread 5G deployment, expanding fiber optic networks. That's the backbone for a lot of this.
Right.
These investments are huge and can be a real hurdle, especially maybe for smaller businesses. Might limit how quickly they can adopt the latest services.
That's a really practical point. It's not just demand. You need the actual infrastructure there and affordable.
Okay, shifting focus a bit. Beyond the immediate drivers, what are the key trends shaping where this market is going next? What should we be watching?
Okay, several big ones gaining steam. The move to cloud, we've touched on it, but it's definitely continuing, getting stronger. Enterprises want that scalability, that flexibility.
Still a major theme, definitely. And tied to that is the rising demand for seamless 5G integration, not just for faster comms, but to support that whole universe of Internet of Things, IoT, applications in businesses.
Enterprise IoT. Yeah, that implies just a massive number of connected devices, right?
Yeah.
And all the data.
Exactly right. Think sensors on machines giving real-time data, smart buildings managing energy, connected logistics tracking packages. All needs robust telecom services. Another big trend is the growing integration of 5G with edge computing.
Edge computing. Okay, we hear that term more and more. Break that down for us. Why is that important here?
Sure. So edge computing basically means processing data closer to where it's actually generated.
Not just in some distant cloud server.
Right. Instead of sending everything back to a central cloud, you process it near the source. The big win is it cuts down latency, that delay, and improves efficiency for applications that need almost instant responses. Think autonomous cars making split-second decisions, or robotic surgery needing immediate feedback.
Right, latency is critical there.
Hugely. Edge makes those feasible. Industries like manufacturing, healthcare, finance, they're already looking at or using edge solutions.
Processing data right where it happens. Yeah, huge implications for speed. Any other key trends popping up?
Lastly, there's this rapidly growing demand for AI, AI-driven automation and analytics, specifically to optimize telecom services.
How so?
Well, things like network management AI can spot potential problems before they impact users.
Proactive.
Exactly. Also transforming customer support with, sophisticated chatbots, using predictive analytics to understand user needs better, even predictive maintenance on the network gear itself to cut downtime.
Wow, so AI is becoming this layer across the whole thing. Now, this market, it's huge, it's dynamic. What's the competition like? Is it just a few giants or more fragmented?
The report says it's highly competitive.
Yeah.
The big players are really focused on boosting their capabilities in those key growth areas, 5G, AI, cloud services.
Right.
And we're seeing strategic moves like partnerships. The report mentions AT&T and Microsoft working together, and also mergers and acquisitions. Companies trying to consolidate their position, expand their reach.
So big moves happening. But is there still room for like smaller players or newer companies?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. While the global giants have huge shares, there's still strong competition from emerging players, regional providers,
How do they compete?
often by offering maybe more cost-effective options or highly customized services for specific industries, a more local touch on support, perhaps. That appeals to certain businesses.
Right.
The report lists some of the top names: AT&T, Verizon, NTT, China Mobile, Deutsche Telekom. So you see those global giants alongside significant regional players.
Gives us a good sense of the playing field. Okay, let's drill down a bit into the types of services. Within telecom enterprise services, what's the outlook for different solutions?
Right, so looking at the solution outlook, data and internet services, they're expected to stay dominant.
The core connectivity.
Pretty much. Driven by our reliance on cloud computing, digital collaboration tools, especially with remote work, and just the explosion of IoT devices in businesses.
Makes sense.
And the report really stresses that 5G rollout is crucial for enhancing these data services, providing that necessary bandwidth and low latency.
Right, it fuels those demanding applications. And which segments are growing fastest within solutions?
Cloud services. That's identified as the fastest growing segment,
Okay.
just fueled by all those benefits we talked about: scalability, cost savings, flexibility for remote work, plus how it integrates with 5G, edge, AI. It all comes together there.
So data and cloud really seem to be the hotspots. Now, let's shift perspective slightly. Where is the revenue actually coming from? The revenue stream outlook.
Okay, in terms of revenue stream,
Mm.
traditional carriers hold the biggest share right now.
The big telcos.
Yeah, largely because they own and run the massive networks. They provide the core connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
They're making those huge investments in 5G, and they're also expanding their own cloud service offerings. They kind of own the foundation.
Right, they own the pipes. Are there other significant or fast-growing revenue streams?
Yes, the master agent segment. That's expanding really rapidly.
Master agents, what do they do?
They basically act as intermediaries. They offer a whole range of telecom solutions from different providers.
Ah, like brokers.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
They really simplify the whole buying process for enterprises, which can be super complex. They help businesses navigate all the options, find tailored solutions. As things get more complicated, their value just keeps going up.
So they provide that layer of expertise and simplification. Okay, final angle. How does the size of the business matter here? Are large corporations driving this, or are SMEs playing a bigger role now?
Currently, large enterprises make up the largest market share,
Okay.
mostly because they have, extensive, often complex needs. Advanced infrastructure, sophisticated cloud solutions for global operations, big data.
They need the heavy-duty stuff.
Exactly. And they generally have the resources to invest in it.
Makes sense. But what about the small and medium enterprises? SMEs, are they part of this growth story too?
Absolutely. The SME sector is flagged as a rapidly growing segment.
Interesting.
As SMEs increasingly embrace digital transformation, see the benefits of cloud for cost and flexibility, adapt to remote work, they're using more and more telecom services.
So they're catching up, leveraging these tools.
Definitely. Improving connectivity, scalability, efficiency. So while large enterprises are the biggest slice now, SMEs are a really significant expanding opportunity in this market.
That's great to hear, that these services are becoming more accessible for businesses of all sizes. Okay, to sort of wrap up our deep dive, let's quickly recap the main takeaways from this report.
Sure. So key points. Global telecom enterprise services market. Strong growth, nearly doubling by 2033.
Wow.
Main drivers: cloud adoption and the impact of 5G. Big time.
Right.
Regionally, North America leads now, but APAC is the fastest grower by a clear margin.
Got it.
Service-wise, DataNet and cloud services are really dynamic.
Right.
And finally, while large enterprises are the biggest users now, the SME sector is growing fast and becoming super important.
Okay, a really dynamic, fast-moving global picture. And that brings us to our final question, a thought provoker for you listening. Given all these trends, what strategic tech investments should businesses be prioritizing right now to really capitalize on this?
Good question.
Should the focus be mainly on cloud migration? Or maybe accelerating 5G adoption, beefing up cybersecurity for all this connectivity, or, some mix of all of that?
Yeah, where do you place your bets?
Exactly. We really encourage you to think about how these global shifts in telecom enterprise services might impact your own organization or, your areas of interest. This deep dive gives a good snapshot, but definitely check out the full report if you need those really granular details for specific sectors or regions.